One ordinary afternoon, reality broke. A blinding tear in the sky, and everything I knew was gone. I wasn't falling. I was being erased from the present and written somewhere else entirely. Then, impact, wet earth, bark, the smell of a world that had never heard a human voice. I stood up, and I understood immediately this wasn't anywhere. This was before anywhere existed. Dead phone, empty bottle, and one chocolate bar. That chocolate bar was about to save my life. Something in the undergrowth, not wind, not birds, something breathing, something deciding what I was. Something crossed the sky above me, enormous, silent, a reminder that I was not at the top of food chain here. Rule 1, find water. And when I saw that stream clear as glass, I almost cried. I drank, I didn't think, I just drank. Because when you have nothing and desperate, the body takes over. Rule 2, shelter before dark. I had maybe 3 hours of light left. I had to think fast. I found the tree, ancient, enormous. Its roots were walls, its canopy, a solid roof. No tools, no rope, just physics, and every survival bushcraft video I'd half-watched on my phone. Every layer was a race against the dark, and the dark here, I could feel it coming. I stepped back. It wasn't pretty, but it was mine. And watching that sky bleed red, I felt pride. Fire, the most important discovery in human history, and I had to rediscover it from scratch. From Night in the Stone Age is alive. It moves just beyond your fire, and it is patient. I woke up the way prey wakes up, instantly, because something had snapped a twig, and it was close. There they were, standing still between the trees, just watching. How long had they been there? They stepped forward, painted in red and earth. Their eyes weren't cruel, they were afraid and curious. Every instinct said run. Then a sound I'll never forget. A spear cutting air and hitting earth close enough to feel through my boots. I ran. I know I said not to run, but a spear in the dirt means the next one doesn't have to miss. The jungle doesn't care you're running for your life. I cleared a log I had no right to clear. And then the jungle took its revenge. A slope I didn't see, mud I didn't expect. And I slipped and fell. They were in a perfect circle, every spear pointed at the centre, which was me. And then I remembered. The chocolate bar. I reached in, slowly, the way you move when 10 spears are pointed at you. I unwrapped it slowly. The foil was the loudest thing I'd ever heard, and I held it out. Please, just be curious. He leaned in, the way an animal approaches something it has never seen, all caution, all instinct. He bit it, slowly, like he expected it to fight back, and then his face changed. Sugar is apparently universal. He turned, made a gesture, and slowly, like a tide going out, every spear came down. I watched something you could only see once in a lifetime, people tasting chocolate for the very first time. A child walked up to me, no fear, no hesitation. She held out a stone bead, a gesture of acceptance perhaps. I knelt down. I took it with both hands, the way you receive something sacred, because apparently it was. They took me in, and walking into their camp, I realised I'd been completely wrong about what primitive looked like. The elder sat beside me and showed me something that took our species hundreds of thousands of years to perfect. The stone went completely the wrong way. The elder found this funny, and that was the moment I felt truly welcome. Before sunrise, the hunters prepared, quiet, ritualistic, a reverence I had never associated with anything. I learned immediately, silence is a skill, every footfall chosen, every breath controlled. I was terrible at it. Everyone stopped. Not a signal I could see, just a stillness that moved down the line like a wave. We hunted a deer that day. That night they celebrated, and I realised joy is older than cities, older than language. It was right here. The elder pointed at me, instructing I try to make fire, so I tried. When it finally caught, I understood why they celebrated fire. Because every fire is a small miracle. Then the women in the tribe took me foraging in the jungle. She gestured, and I understood. She shook her head at certain plants. We had no language, and we needed none. We watched the sun go down together. We didn't speak. Sometimes you don't need to. I found the wrapper in my pocket. Just foil. But it was from a world with electricity, with people who knew my name. And then I heard it. A sound with no place in this world, and every single person in that camp froze. The portal opened. The tribe ran, and I stood there, completely still, because I had a choice no human had ever faced before. I miss home, and that one person who I like. I wish to go home and confess to her. But then I saw Sarah falling through. I guess I'm staying here.